Welcome Englishers to the next English module. Today we are going to do chapter number 9 from your book First Flight, titled Madam Rides the Bus, written by Valli Kannan. Students, you all must have travelled by bus once or more than once. Now, when you travel by bus, what all do you observe? Maybe valleys, rivers, you could say some shopping malls, crowd, people standing here and there, traffic, n number of thoughts would be coming to your mind. Here in this story, which is a sensitive yarn, an 8-year-old girl's first bus journey is elaborated into the world outside her village. The journey where she goes from her village to the outside world, and also her induction into the mystery of life and death. She basically went for a journey, but what she came back with is of key importance here. She sees the gap between our knowing that there is death, which is inevitable, and our understanding of it. So students, open your books and let's start the reading module.
There was a girl named Valliami, who was called Valli for short. She was 8 years old and very curious about things. Her favorite pastime was standing in the front doorway of her house, watching what was happening in the street outside. There were no playmates of her own age on her street, and this was about all she had to do. What she had to do? Watch what was happening in the street. But for Valli, standing at the front door was every bit as enjoyable as any of the elaborate games other children played. Watching the street gave her many new unusual experiences, just like that movie Tare Zameen Par. In that small boy, when he was out from school, he was busy enjoying the gola and the paint going on, if you remember, children. Continuing, the most fascinating thing of all was the bus that travelled between her village and the nearest town. It passed through her street each hour, once going to the town and once coming back. The sight of the bus filled each time with a new set of passengers was a source of unending joy for Valli. Please underline, was a source of unending joy for Valli. Children, whenever there are restrictions for something, you always wish to do that. So for Valli also, that bus which used to come and take the passengers, and she did not have an opportunity to sit in it, attracted her the most, gave her an unending joy. Day after day she watched the bus, and gradually a tiny wish crept into her head and grew there. Crept means that wish came to her mind. She wanted to ride on that bus, even if just once. Even if just once, even if she gets the opportunity, just once. This wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. Please underline, overwhelming. Overwhelming means which she could not resist. She was overwhelmed. She was excited to the fore for this desire of riding in the bus. Valli would stare wistfully at the people who got on or off the bus when it stopped at the street corner. Wistfully, children, desiringly, longingly, as it is written. Their faces would kindle in her longings. Kindle would give her great feeling, a feeling of igniting her passion. Their faces would kindle in her longings, dreams, and hopes. If one of her friends happened to ride the bus and tried to describe the sights of the town to her, Valli would be too jealous to listen and would shout in English, "Proud, proud." Neither she nor her friends really understood the meaning of the word, but they used it often as a slang expression of disapproval, slang which is not considered as a formal language to be spoken. Continuing with the next paragraph. Over many days and months, Valli listened carefully to conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly used the bus, who used to board the bus. And she also asked a few discreet questions here and there. Discreet, very carefully, observant. She was a small girl, but very, very observant. Here you get the character sketch also. This way, she picked up various small details about the bus journey. The town was 6 miles from her village. The fare was 30 paise one way, which is almost nothing at all. She heard one well-dressed man say, but to Valli, who scarcely saw that much money, from 1 month to the next, it seemed a fortune. It seemed a fortune means it was difficult for her to accumulate that money. The trip to the town took 45 minutes. On reaching town, if she stayed in her seat and paid another 30 paise, she would return home on the same bus. This meant she could take the 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45 and be back home by about 2:45. See, so calculative. She's doing all that arrangements because children, if we are passionate about things, we desire to do them. On and on went her thoughts as she calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned.